How's it going, YouTube? And welcome back to the Grid. And I'm your host, Card by Grid. And today we have an amazing Raidenmon deck profile for you today. And towards the end of the deck profile, I'll guys show you the best stacks that you want to do with the deck, and also any kind of upgrades that you might be interested in. So let's hop on to it. So starting off with our Digitama, we're only gonna play 4. Pokemon. Pokemon has an on deletion skill that says reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a black Digimon, put it into your hand, otherwise put it at the bottom deck. We only play 4. Games are pretty fast, so I'm not really interested into a 5th egg if I'm not ever gonna get into it. So that's why I play only 4. And then for our level 3s, let's go ahead and start off with 4 Agumon. Now, Agumon has a skill that on play you may trash a Digimon with machine or cyborg and its traits to draw 2. It's essential for the deck just because 1, it's a machine and its traits, and 2, the main thing that we want to do with this deck is start discarding and trashing all of our level 6s that are not Raidenmon. So we can, whenever we go into Raidenmon, we can get the maximum benefit from it, and also it unclogs hands too, which is actually really nice, and so that's why you run 3 of it, or 4. And then we're gonna run 4 Toy Agumon. Toy Agumon has a inherited skill reboot. It's not a machine, it's not a cyborg, it's a puppet, but still it's very good just for that reboot effect. Once you start digivolving into blockers, it's really nice to be able to reboot on your opponent's turn, so that's why we run a playset of them. And then we also run 3 Raidenmon. Sunrise is not a machine, not a cyborg, but it does have 2 amazing skills. One is on your turn, all of your Digimon with 3000 DP or more gain piercing, and also has an inherited on your turn. When this Digimon is black and has 13,000 DP or more, it gains security attack +1. This is one of the few ways that black generically can give plus security attack, so this is one of our few options. And plus, it's really nice if your opponent's running blockers as well, you can just start running over them with the piercing. So that's why we run 3. And so that concludes our level 3s. And then for our level 4s, we're gonna go ahead and play a playset of Digimon. Digimon is a blocker, and it has the skill this Digimon can attack, which is not what you want to do with him in the first place, so that's fine. But he does have that inherited. When attacking, you may trash 1 Digimon with machine or cyborg and his traits to draw 2. So the same thing as Agumon, but just as an inherited, which is really nice because, like I said, you want to go through your deck as quickly as possible to start discarding your 6s, your level 6s, except for Raidenmon. And because once you do that, then your Raidenmon's live, and then you can start applying pressure and start turning the game around to your favor. So that's why we run a playset of him. And then we run 4 Dark Raidenmon. Dark Raidenmon is just your 1 evolution cost level 4 blocker that has the 1 attacking effect to lose 2 memory. It's really nice to maximize the efficiency of your memory gauge. It actually comes in handy a lot. Sometimes your opponent wants to choke you down to 1, and this is one of the ways that you can go into your level 5s without we go into your level 5s the same time you go into your level 4. So that's why we run a playset of him. And we also run a full playset Mechanorimon, because we don't like to get rushed down by rookies. Mechanorimon is a blocker with a 4 memory play cost that has an effect on your turn. This Digimon cannot attack, and then on your opponent's turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, unsuspend it. So it's really amazing for that effect. Your opponent tries to rookie rush you down, they will not start swinging because you're going to just block them all. It's a really great effect. You really don't want to be digivolving into him because it is a 3 cost for a level 4, so it doesn't feel good. But just hard playing him for 4 memory, that's actually pretty nice. And it's also nice if you have a set to 3 tamer out and your opponent doesn't, and you can just play him, choke your opponent at 1, and it creates some pretty nice plays. So that's why we run 4 of him. And he's also machine as well as Gardramon, but Dark Tyranno is not. And that concludes our level 4s. For our level 5s though, we run 4 Andromon. Andromon, you might have seen him in Machine Dramon decks, and also we utilize them in every way. On Digi Evolution, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 machine level 6 to your hand and trash the rest. And that's mainly for Raidenmon, and also one of the level 6s you can actually search out. So we also use them for that, and just trashing our filling up our trash. And he also has an inherit skill that says if this Digimon has machine in its traits, you can go ahead and gain blocker. Sorry about that. So we run 4, and we also run 4 Metal Tyrannomon. Metal Tyrannomon is the same skill as Andromon. On Digi Evolution, you can go ahead and reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a machine level 6 to your hand, and trash the rest. And then it has an inherit skill, which if this Digimon has machine in its traits, it gains reboot, which is really nice. So if you don't get into Toy Agumon, this is another way that you can get reboot in your stack. So we run 4 of him. And he's also machine. And then for our level 6s, we're going to go ahead and start off with 2 Fujimon. Fujimon has all the level 6s except for Raidenmon have the hand effect that says if you have a Digimon with Justimon or Raidenmon in play, you may pay 1 memory cost and add this Digimon to its de-evolutions. So it's really nice. You can just pay 1 memory, put it inside, and then it also has 1 Digi-evolving effect. You may trash 1 cyborg or 1 machine Digimon from your hand with those traits, and then suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon, which is really nice if you want to run over something. And also it has the inherit skill. When attacking, you may suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 less DP. The Digimon doesn't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. If your opponent's trying to swarm the board last minute, you can go ahead and start suspending things and making sure they're not going to actually attack you on your next turn, which is really nice. So that's why we run 2 of him. And then we also run 2 Raidenmon. Raidenmon has the same hand effect as Fujimon, which is you can pay 1 memory and put them into the de-evolutions of Justimon or Raidenmon. And then also he has a one Digi-evolving effect. You can trash 1 cyborg or machine in its traits from your hand, and you can minus 4,000 DP 1 your opponent's Digimon. And then he has the inherit when attacking effect, minus 4,000 DP 1 your opponent's Digimon. Now Raidenmon and also Fujimon are not searchable by Andromon or Metal Tyranno, so just keep that in mind when you're going ahead searching with those on Digi Evolution effects, just because they're both cyborgs and they're not machines. So we run 2 of him. And then we also run 2 Sujimon. Sujimon has the same hand effect, which is you can go ahead and pay 1 memory to put them into Justimon's or Raidenmon's de-evolutions. And then he has an on Digi evolving effect that you can go ahead and discard 1 Digimon with cyborg and machine its traits to go ahead and choose 1 of your opponent's level 4s and bottom deck it, which is really nice. And his when attacking inherit skill is you can choose one of your opponent's Digimon with are level 4 or lower, and then return it to the 10. Return them to the owner 10, which is really nice. He's actually machined, so you can search him off of the Digivolving effects of your level 5s. So yeah, we run 2 of him. It's really not necessary to run more than 2 of each level 6 in my opinion, just because your hand might get too cloggy, or even your deck. You do want to see them as fast as possible, and sometimes it's really rare when you get 2 of the same one into your security, so that's why I would just only stick to 2. Sometimes you might get 1. If you do, it actually works out once they hit your security and they're not OTKing you that turn. So that's why you run 2. And for the main guy, we're gonna run 4 Raidenmon. Raidenmon, and he has an on play and one Digi-evolving effect that you can place 1 Sujin, Reijin, or Fujin from your trash into his de-evolutions, and if you do, then you gain 1 memory for each. He's a 4 evolution on a level 5, but a 2 evolution on a level 6, so you can go ahead and Digivolve onto one of your other level 6s, and then he'll actually gain 3 memory from the 3 that you put him in, but he gets all the effects of all the inherit skills, which is really nice. And his second effect is when attacking, if all the level 6's cards in your de-evolutions is I believe 2 or 3 colors or more, you can go ahead, this Digimon go ahead and gets 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. And if it's 4, which is if you have all 3 underneath, then you can go ahead and choose one of your opponent's Digimon to Digivolve, which is a very nice effect. It's kind of like pseudo removal in a way, but it's very nice, just because a lot of Digimon, especially with Blackboard Greymon or Metal Garurumon, Blackboard Greymon mainly has the effect to protect itself from being destroyed by card effects or being returned from hand. So Digivolving gets around all of that, and it's really nice. And so he's a 12 cost, so if you have 12 memory, you can go ahead and slap him down and he'll cost for essentially 9. Not the best, but it is nice that you can have that option to do that. And then remember, he gains all the inherit skills of all the Fujins or all the Jins, so you can go ahead and start like cleaning up boards really quick with him, which is really nice. So we run a full play set of him. And then for our option cards, we're gonna run 3 of Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. It has main effect, you may trash 1 card with Cyborg or Machine and its traits to have all your level 6 Digimon with Machine and its traits gain Rush and gain on play this turn. It gains Blitz if it has de-evolutions underneath it. It's a 0 cost. It's really nice. You can go ahead and just slap down. If you needed 1 more attack, you can go ahead and play this and then slap down a Raidenmon, and then go ahead, as long as you have 1 of the Jins underneath in your trash, you can go ahead and put a Jin underneath it and then swing for game, because it's going to have Blitz. So it's a very nice effect. It also has a security effect that says you may trash 1 Digimon with Cyborg Machine's traits, and then you may delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon whose play cost is less than that Digimon's play cost that you discarded for the cost of the effect, which is really nice, because sometimes it's rare, but it does happen where you're trying to look for a discard outlet to discard 1 of your Jins, and a lot of Digimon are the same cost as Jins. I believe that all Jins are 11 costs, so it's actually really nice. You can delete a lot of stuff, and it's one of our main sources of removal when your opponent swings at your security. But it also functions really well with the deck. If you ever go against a deck that returns Raidenmon to your hand, you're happy to run 3, If you're running against a deck that removes it any other way, like Chaos Integration or minusing the DP, then you can go ahead and cut this down to 2 if you want. But so far I've been playing 3 and it's been very nice, because even when I check in my security, it's actually really nice that I can destroy or pop something that's actually doing lethal damage to me. So I run 3 of that, and that's the only option card that we're running. And I'm running 4 Kazu. Kazu is a 3-cost memory tamer that says at the start of your turn, if you have a cyborg or a machine in its Digimon and its traits in play, you can go ahead and gain 1 memory. You start gaining a lot of memory with him once you start stacking them up, which is really nice. And he also has on your turn, when all turns actually, when one of your Digimon with cyborg machines and its traits becomes suspended, you may suspend this tamer to draw 1 and trash 1. So with this whole deck, it's all about drawing and trashing. There's no random trashing whatsoever. So more than not, you're going to get into almost all your Raidenmons, as long as they're not in security. If they're in security, then yeah, you're going to get into less. But if they're all in deck, you're going to draw every single one of them, as long as you keep on going through your deck, which is really nice. So that's why another reason we kind of run 3 of the option card. So Kazu is really nice, and that's why we run a full playset of him. And then we also run 2 of Taikamiya. Taikamiya is a set to 3 tamer, it's 4 cost, and it also says on your opponent's turn, all of your black Digimon get plus 1000 DP. That, as not helpful as it sounds, it actually has helped me a lot. A lot of my blockers are 6000 DP or they're 5000, so a lot of attackers that are level 4s are 6000, or even if you're going against Metal Gurumon X, their level 5 is actually a 6000 DP, but it does gain DP from its de-evolution, so having 2 of these out actually helps out a lot. Just remember, if they have the X antibody level 4 Gurumon, then they can actually just trash 2 of their de-evolutions just to survive the battle. So just remember that. But besides that, it's actually came in handy multiple times. It's nice when you have this and Kazu set up, because then you're gonna get more than 3 memory. And yeah, 2 is just right. I believe you want to see more Kazus, just because if your opponent sets you to 3, you can go ahead and still plus memory with the Kazu, or they set you to 2 and you have 1 Kazu out, you're still gonna go to 3 memory. And so that's why I only see the deck really focusing around 2. And also just, yeah, that's all you really need for this deck. And for any upgrades of the deck, if you have the money, or if you just have them laying around casually, you know, because they're so not expensive, you can throw in 2 Death Xmon. I've tried it with this build. It's hilarious. It actually works out a lot. Especially if any deck that you're playing against can be stalled out just a little bit by blockers, they're going to start flooding the board just a little bit, where you can slap this down with for like 8 memory costs, or you can slap it down for consistently 11, but 8 memory costs has happened, or even 5. And when it's on the board, it is very hard to get rid of, and it's very annoying for your opponent. So if you have them in your inventory, I know everybody does not, but if you do, they do help a great deal. So I'll run 2 Death Xmon if you could. You can also run another Sunrisemon and take out one of the option cards. That also helps too, with just consistency and also just piercing wise, and just extra security attack. So he's also another card you can put in, or you can just run Justimon as well, Blitz Arm. It's a very good card. It functions well with this deck just because all the Jins can also go inside its sources by paying 1 memory cost, and he unsuspends. So if you have Sunrisemon in your stack, and then this is your level 6 and you put some Jins underneath, you can go ahead and start minusing the DP. You can start cleaning up the board for sure. Minusing the DP helps a lot because then you can start popping their 5000 DP Digimon, I believe. Yes. Oh, 5. Oh, 5 or less play cost. Also, he's not going to get. He's not gonna really run into anything to security that's gonna really delete him on the option cards, because he's gonna be swinging pretty big. He's gonna be swinging for 13, and then also if you have any tamers out, you can at least 2. You can go ahead and just utilize the Daijins to clean up the board, so you can just use his unsuspending effect and also his plus DP effect, which is really nice. So he's also a really nice addition to the deck if you would like to do so. And that's mainly it that I would run into a deck that's very still synergistic with it and won't mess around with the synergy of the deck. For the stacks that you want to make would be, it's fine if actually Pagumon's not inside, but just for demonstration's sake, you have Pagumon, and then you have Toy Agumon. Raidenmon actually helps a lot too. Andromon, and really any one of the gens, but Region is actually one of the more useful ones. So this is actually one of the best stacks that you can actually do, because Toy Agumon's going to give you the reboot. Guardiamon's going to keep on filtering your hand and filtering your deck so you can get into the pieces you want. And then Andromon's going to give you the blocker, so you're going to be a reboot blocker, which is nice. And then also you're going to have Raidenmon. And then once you digivolve into Raidenmon, you can go ahead and add Fujimon or Sujimon, Raijimon again, and Fujimon into his de-evolutions, and you're going to gain that 3 memory. So when you digivolve for 2, you're actually netting 1 memory, which is really nice, just because even though he's in there already, it's how many cards you place underneath it. And so when he swings, he's swinging for 15 digivolving, and also he has a reboot blocker. This is one of my favorite stacks to go into, just because not that many people can get over a 15k blocker too easily, or if you also have a tie, he becomes a 16k blocker on your opponent's turn, which is very, very nice. And so yeah, this is one of my favorite stacks. Just it's very efficient, and also the blocker is really nice. If you really want to go for more aggression, go ahead and just swap out the Toy Agumon and the Andromon, and just go ahead and put in the Sunrizumon just for the plus security attack, and also the Metal Tyrannomon for the reboot, just because you don't want anybody swinging into your Raidenmon, especially if you're really trying hard to build this stack up. So go ahead and you're always swinging for 15, and the 15 lasts till the end of your opponent's turn, which is really nice. And also you're going to have the reboot, so you're going to restand, and then you're going to get the security attack +1. So it's a lot of aggression. A lot of times you can just smack this down and just play the option card and just try and go for game or clean up boards, which is really nice. Yeah, you're gonna give them a lot of memory, but if you're going to get a deck that really can't produce or really doesn't have any options to give their Digimon rush or play any Digimon that have rush, it is actually very nice, because then you have your next turn to start building back up. So yeah, this is my Raidenmon deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy. This deck is a lot of fun. It's a very fun casual deck. So if you guys have any comments, please leave them down below. If you would like to see Any other deck profiles of casual fun decks and cheap decks? This deck is actually very cheap too. I think the only card that's expensive in this deck is probably Sun Raidenmon. Besides that, everything in this deck is probably less than $2, less than $1, and it's very cost efficient. So anybody that's trying to get into the game, this deck is super fun. I would definitely give it a try. And yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it very much. And until I see you next time, peace.